Let's get you our top story on the hour, and that is Aftab Poonawala, who was virtually produced in the Delhi court yesterday as around 100 advocates practicing at the Saket district courts assembled shouting slogans demanding death penalty for Poonawala.
And on account of security fears, Aftab was not physically produced in Saket court just yesterday. The police have been granted 5 more days of police custody after a virtual hearing.
The horrific murder of a woman by her live-in partner in Delhi has drawn hugely controversial comments, and that too from the Union Minister Kaushal Kishore. Parmeshwar.
In fact, Divya, it was Kaushal Kishore, the Union Minister, his remarks blaming educated girls who leave their parents and opt for live-in relationships. It's been criticised heavily by Shiv Sena's Priyanka Chaturvedi, who demanded that our Prime Minister sack him.
The police have got 5 more days of Aftab Poonawala's custody. To find critical evidence and links in the murder, he confessed to chopping her body into 35 pieces and disposing them across the national capital.
पुलिस रिमांड तभी होता है जब पुलिस कोर्ट को ये रिक्वेस्ट करती है कि हमें कुछ एविडेंस कलेक्ट करना है जो अक्यूज्ड के नॉलेज में है.
Police sources say that Aftab confessed to burning his partner's face after strangling her to death to conceal her identity. Another crucial clue for the police was Aftab's surprisingly high water bill, even when 20,000 litres are free every month in the colony. Police believe that this could mean he had a constantly running water tap to mask chopping sounds and remove blood stains from the house. Aftab was produced before the court virtually after the courtroom saw massive protests by lawyers against the murder accused.
हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा प्रोटेस्ट किया, वो यही था कि इस तरह के लोगों को सजा प्रॉपर मिलनी चाहिए.
ये एक साइको टाइप के लोग होते हैं, उसी को देख के सर वकीलों के अंदर काफी नाराजगी थी, जिसको कोर्ट के अंदर भी वकीलों ने काफी नारेबाजी की है.
So far, the police have not been able to recover the weapon that Aftab used to cut up Shraddha's body. The police are also still on the lookout for the victim's mobile phone. That is crucial for the further course of the investigation. Police sources say that Shraddha's severed head, which is yet to be found, was burnt by Aftab after he strangled her to death. With eyewitnesses missing, the police are so far relying on Aftab's confession, recorded statements and circumstantial evidence. As murky details continue to emerge out of police questioning, Shraddha's bereaved father tells NDTV that he could barely bring himself to hear his daughter's alleged murderer's confession to the police that he made in front of him.
आपके सामने कन्फेस किया?
मेरे सामने भी कन्फेस किया उसने 11 तारीख को.
क्या कहा सर उसने?
उसने कहा कि पुलिस ने पूछा कि क्या इनको जानते हैं, तब उसने जवाब दिया कि हाँ ये श्रद्धा के डैडी है. तो फिर दिल्ली पुलिस ने पूछा कि बता दो अभी क्या किया आपने. तब तुरंत ऐसे बोलने लगा कि ये श्रद्धा इज नो मोर. मैं तो वहाँ पे ही कोलैप्स हो गया. मैं सुन ही नहीं पाया ये सब आगे की बातें.
The police will take murder accused Aftab Poonawala to Himachal Pradesh as the next step of the investigation. This as the court also gave its assent to conduct the narco test or the lie test on Shraddha's murder accused. The police hope that this is going to facilitate the investigation and bring to light various details and hard evidence that is yet to be revealed in the murder case that has shaken the conscience of the nation. In New Delhi with camera person Sushil Rathi, Vedant for NDTV.
And Vedant is also joining us on the phone line. Vedant, firstly, the police taking Aftab to Himachal Pradesh. What's the reason behind that? And also the narco test that the court has given permission for. Is it permissible when it comes in court? Will that, evidence be used?
Well, to answer your first question, Divya, Himachal Pradesh is where the couple first went for their vacation. So the police, of course, will first be taking accused Aftab to Gurugram, where he was last working at a call center, and then to Himachal Pradesh for the further course of questioning. Remember, these 5 days are going to be crucial for the police to bring to light various details and evidence that is still missing. And to answer your second question, remember the narco test is, the court has given its assent to the narco test. However, it can be conducted only after the subject or, the accused in this case, Aftab, gives his assent and gives his consent perhaps for the narco test to be conducted on him. Remember, the evidence, the confessions perhaps that come out of this narco test cannot be treated as evidence because, the subject is in a hypnotized state. However, the narco test will help the police in getting clues to various evidence. Remember, the police continue to say that there is, ample evidence available, and that evidence is only in the knowledge of the accused. So in order to get access to that evidence, the narco test is crucial. The confessions per se, or the confessions, in themselves cannot be treated as evidence in court. However, it will help the police in getting crucial details. Remember, murky details continue. Yesterday, in fact, late night, there were also reports of Aftab confessing to the police that he, in fact, used a cigarette to burn her back. So, those kind of details are yet to be revealed. And, in the further course of investigation is going to follow its due course. And the police are expecting that within 5 days, they will also be able to recover the weapon that Aftab used to chop Shraddha's body to 35 pieces.
Vedant, every time we speak, it happens to be that murkier details emerge. And now you're mentioning the cigarette being used allegedly to burn her back. But as we speak, could you confirm that key evidence, including the weapon, is still missing and the police are looking for it?
That's right, Parmeshwar. The weapon has not been recovered yet by the police. And secondly, as far as the clothes of the couple are concerned, remember Aftab had confessed that he threw them in a garbage van, and the police, in fact, have van.
Right, we seem to have lost that line. We will get Vedant back with us. But moving on to other news now.
Right, finally, Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Hemant Soren, turned up at the ED office in Ranchi in connection with the illegal mining in Santhal Pargana region of the state.
That's right, Parmeshwar. He was questioned for 9 hours straight, and Soren is maintaining his defiant stand while he was being questioned and saying that what he's describing as superinflated figures, going on to say that as a chief minister, will he flee? Here is our report.
Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren finally at the door of the ED office in Ranchi, the first sitting chief minister to appear before the agency, accompanied by his younger brother Basant Soren. Before arriving, Soren kept up his aggressive approach, asking whether as chief minister, why would he flee?
मैं राज्य का मुख्यमंत्री हूं, एक संवैधानिक पद पर हूं, और जिस तरीके से सम्मान की कार्रवाई चल रही है, लगता है कि हम लोग देश छोड़ के भागने वाले लोग। और मेरे राजनीतिक इतिहास में मुझे नहीं लगता है व्यापारियों को छोड़कर कोई राजनीतिक दल देश छोड़ के भागा हो या राजनीतिक दल के नेता देश छोड़ के भागे हो।
The Enforcement Directorate claims they're probing Soren for links to money laundering through illegal mining after they arrested and questioned his aides Pankaj Mishra and 2 others. The ED says it has identified 1,000 crore rupees as proceeds of crime related to illegal mining. But Soren said that the case is the latest attempt by the BJP to destabilize his government, referring to the move to disqualify him as an MLA on charges that he awarded himself a mining contract.
कहा जाए कि जो हमारे विपक्ष हैं, जो सरकार बनने के बाद से ही सरकार गिराने के षड्यंत्र में लगे हुए थे, और ये षड्यंत्र की पनडुब्बी जो पानी में डूब करके काम कर रहा था, आज उस पनडुब्बी को धीरे धीरे बाहर लाने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है.
See, we consider this to be a black day in Jharkhand's history when a sitting chief minister has to appear before an investigating agency, and that too in a corruption case.
Now all eyes will be on the Enforcement Directorate, which is going to take a call based on interrogation whether to let him off or opt for his custody, which may create a new political challenge. With Manish Kumar in Ranchi, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Moving on, ACB released MLA Akhilesh Tripathi after questioning in the cash for ticket case. Akhilesh was called for questioning at 11 a.m. and let go around 9 p.m. yesterday, Parmeshwar.
ACB released him after nearly 11 hours of questioning, Divya. ACB, however, has maintained that he may be called back in after further investigations. And the centre has sought a review of the Supreme Court order of the 11th of November for the release of 6 convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. The Congress party, remember, had heavily criticised the Supreme Court decision and questioned the Modi government, asking it to clarify its stand.
Now, a week after the Supreme Court ordered the release of those 6 people who were convicted in the assassination of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1991, the central government on Thursday requested the court to review its decision. The central government said that the decision to release the convicts in the assassination case was a miscarriage of justice. And sparks are flying in Maharashtra between the allies, the Congress and the Uddhav Shiv Sena over Rahul Gandhi's criticism of Savarkar. Well, Uddhav Thackeray had gone on to say that his party has immense respect for Savarkar and that he said that he doesn't agree with what Rahul Gandhi had to say.
Meanwhile, Rahul Gandhi defended his comments, showing a letter allegedly written by Savarkar to the British.
ये सावरकर जी की चिट्ठी है जिसमें उन्होंने अंग्रेजों को लिखा है, हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन कर देता हूं। सर, मैं आपका नौकर रहना चाहता हूं। ये मैंने नहीं लिखा, ये सावरकर जी ने लिखा है।
Rahul Gandhi waving a copy of a 102-year-old letter in the latest political battle in Maharashtra following protests by the ruling Shiv Sena faction against Gandhi's criticism of Savarkar. The letter by Savarkar, the Hindutva ideologue, seeks amnesty from his British jailers. Savarkar is venerated by both the Shiv Sena factions as well as the BJP. The ruling alliance of the Shinde, Shiv Sena and the BJP has attacked Rahul Gandhi to drive home the ideological difference between the opposition alliance between the Congress and the Thackeray Sena.
मी विचार केल्यावर मला असं वाटतं की त्या ठिकाणी स्वर्गात बाळासाहेब ठाकरेंना काय वाटत असेल ज्यावेळेस ते बघत असतील की त्या राहुल गांधी सोबत आदित्य ठाकरे हे पदयात्रा करतायत.
Notably, former Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray accepted the differences with Rahul Gandhi over Savarkar, but also attacked the BJP.
मैंने कहा कि आदरणीय स्वातंत्र्यवीर सावरकर, उनके बारे में हमारे मन में, दिल में श्रद्धा और प्रेम है, निष्ठा है, वो ऐसी जाएगी नहीं, जाने वाली नहीं. जिन लोगों का स्वातंत्र्य संग्राम जाने ना 75 साल पूरे हो गए, उसके पहले जो भी हमें सवाल कर रहे हैं, उनका योगदान क्या है स्वतंत्रता के लिए?
The breakaway Sena, which is now in power, has called for Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra to be stopped in Maharashtra.
ही भारत जोडो यात्रा आहे ती खऱ्या अर्थाने थांबवावी महाराष्ट्रात आणि त्यांना महाराष्ट्रात कायद्याचं राज्य आहे, महाराष्ट्रात स्वातंत्र्यवीर सावरकरांचं राज्य आहे, त्यांच्या विचारांचं राज्य आहे हे त्यांना दाखवून द्या.
सरकार को लगे कि भारत जोड़ो यात्रा को रोक देना चाहिए तो रोकने की कोशिश कीजिए, करिए.
There have been several controversies regarding Savarkar in Maharashtra politics earlier as well. But the way first Aditya Thackeray walked with Rahul Gandhi in the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and later while Uddhav Thackeray distanced himself from the controversial statement made by Rahul Gandhi, he attacked BJP as well. It shows that for the movement, the Thackeray's will be with the Congress in the Mahavikas Aghadi. However, on the other hand, the BJP and the Shinde faction will try to raise this issue again and again and question the Hindutva of the Thackeray's. In Mumbai with camera person Sanjay Mandal, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
Now, after more than 15 days of a bridge collapse in Morbi in Gujarat, which resulted in the loss of 135 lives, the Municipal Corporation of Morbi has taken full responsibility of the tragedy in a written reply to the Gujarat High Court, saying that the bridge shouldn't have been opened, Parmeshwar.
Right, the High Court has also summoned the chief of the Morbi Municipal Corporation in the next date of hearing to hear from him directly. But even as the government authority took responsibility, there has been no action on the owner of Areva company, I beg your pardon, who remains to be scot-free at the moment.
Almost 3 weeks after 135 people were killed in the Morbi bridge collapse, the municipality took responsibility, but only just. After 2 notices by the High Court, the BJP-ruled municipal corporation said in a written affidavit that the bridge shouldn't have been opened. The affidavit also read, public shouldn't have been allowed on the bridge unless it got a fitness certificate, which didn't happen. Morbi's Municipal Corporation initially put the onus on the Oreva company, finally owning up to the tragedy after over 15 days of the bridge collapse and 2 notices served by the Gujarat High Court. The Chief Justice of the Gujarat High Court, Arvind Kumar, has directed the Chief of the Morbi Municipal Corporation, Sandeep Singh Zala, to be present in court on the 24th of November at the next hearing. However, the owner of the Ajanta Oreva company, which was given the contract to repair the bridge, remains free. He's not even been named in the police case. The Morbi tragedy is now an election issue, with the opposition Congress targeting the BJP for shielding Oreva's owner and alleging close ties with Prime Minister Modi.
BJP government is trying for a major cover-up, protecting the accused, who happens to be one of the close allies of the BJP, and rules have been flouted.
It took the Gujarat High Court to send 2 notices to the Morbi Municipal Corporation for them to finally own up to the criminal negligence for the bridge collapse after over 15 days of the tragedy. But the Oreva company's owner has still not been questioned. What will it take for the accountability to be pinned? Because let's not forget, 135 lives were lost, most of which were of women and children. With camera person Ravi Joshi in Gujarat, I'm Tanushree Pandey reporting for NDTV.
The other big story we're tracking this morning, the Director General of the National Investigation Agency said that social media platforms are being used to raise money for terrorist activities and that such issues will be discussed at an international ministerial conference on terror financing that begins today in New Delhi.
The Money for Terror conference hosted by the Ministry of Home Affairs will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister today. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will also be there among the attendees, and over 70 countries, 72 to be precise, are participating in that 2-day event. To get more details, we have our colleague Neeta joining us on the phone line.
As you're mentioning, there are 72 countries who are participating. India is the 73rd country. Apart from that, 15 other organizations, which includes Interpol and FATF, are also going to participate. You know, India is going to show the world through its own security prism the problems it has been facing and the terror issues that it has been facing from its neighboring countries. Interestingly, you know, the 2 countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan, have not been invited to this conference. And as far as China is concerned, though they have been invited, there has been no confirmation whether they are attending the conference or not. Other than that, all countries are attending. It's a big platform. It's an international platform. Yesterday, when, Secretary West of Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. Sanjay, was addressing the media, he said it is a logical step forward. There was an Interpol conference and then there was a big conference in Mumbai of United Nations Security. And after that, it's a logical step that today they are going to discuss terror funding. The 2 issues which are going to be on focus is crowdfunding and also cryptocurrency. How they are being used by anti-social elements, terrorists, to further their own agenda. There are going to be 4 sessions. It's a 2-day conference. Today's conference is going to primarily deal with terror funding, because in order to curb terror, you need to choke its funding. So those are the 2 focuses today for today's conference. Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi is going to address the conference at about 9:30 a.m. Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah is also going to be there. So today there are 2 sessions and tomorrow there would be 2 sessions. Divya?
Right, Neeta, so this international anti-terror meet being hosted in Delhi, what time is this conference?
The press conference is going to start at 9:30. The Prime Minister is going to inaugurate the conference. It's a 2-day conference. Today there are going to be 2 sessions. Tomorrow there are going to be 2 sessions. Both the sessions, today's sessions are going to be chaired by the Home Minister and the Minister of External Affairs. Tomorrow also again there are 2 sessions. In both the sessions, issues relating narco-terrorism, crowdfunding, cryptocurrency, and the threats, coming from the West area, because nowadays the security agencies say that the terrorism, the sectarian part of terrorism is also very hard to deal. So those are the aspects which are going to be discussed threadbare in this meeting.
Welcome back. Let's get you an update. 164 cases of measles have been reported in Mumbai and 7 suspected deaths as well. 74 patients so far have been admitted to Mumbai's Kasturba Hospital. Parmeshwar.
Right, but the most concerning fact is that children between 1 to 4 years are actually among the worst affected. In fact, experts say blame the lack of vaccination as well as malnourishment.
Zainabada, Jahangir Sheikh, Abdul Qayyum, anxious relatives waiting in hospital as their children battle a deadly measles outbreak. Most of these children are undergoing treatment at the Kasturba Hospital for infectious diseases.
स्टार्टिंग में ना उसको ना सर्दी जुकाम बुखार उसको बहुत आ रहा था, फिर वो इचिंग हो रहा था, उसके प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था स्किन में, तो डॉक्टर को मैंने वहाँ पे प्राइवेट दिखाया था, उन्होंने बोला सही हो जाएगा, इधर लेकर आया तो उन्होंने बोला एडमिट करने.
However, some parents say their child fell ill even after being vaccinated.
क्या उम्र है बच्चे की?
वो 2 साल 3 महीने.
2 साल 3
हाँ, बता अच्छा देख रहे हैं वहाँ.
उनका भी टीकाकरण हुआ था क्या?
हाँ, सभी जितने डोज लगते हैं ना टीके के, सभी हुआ है. हमारे घर के पास ही 4-5 बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो यहाँ पे आके एडमिट है अभी.
मेरे बच्चे के साथ हमारे लड़की की मतलब नवासी है, 1 महीने से इलाज हो रहा था, वो उसका बुखार तक कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाया. फिर यहाँ एडमिट करने के बाद 4 दिन में वो बच्ची अच्छी हो गई. ये जो बच्चों को सब हुआ है, सब टीका लगे हुए हैं, सब इन लोगों का कोर्स हुआ है, उसके बावजूद ऐसा हो रहा है.
लड़की का नहीं हुआ था गाँव में, मतलब मेरी लड़की हुई थी तो एक ही हुआ था खाली.
अच्छा, एक हुआ था और दूसरा आपने नहीं लिया?
करवाया था.
तो अभी टीका करवा लिया?
अभी नहीं कराया, यहाँ से बोले डॉक्टर डिस्चार्ज होगा ना तो करवा लेने के लिए.
There have been 7 suspected deaths due to measles in Mumbai. 164 cases of measles have been reported in 2022, as against just 9 cases in 2021 and 25 in 2020. 80 patients are currently in hospital. Patients have been reporting rashes all over their body along with fever and dry cough. The highest concentration of cases are in 2 of Mumbai's 8 civic wards, Govandi and Mankhurd.
2 पेशेंट्स वेंटिलेटर पे हैं एंड 5 पेशेंट्स आर ऑन ऑक्सीजन. कस्तूरबा में 4 डेथ्स हुए हैं, तो उसका डेथ कमेटी जो होगी दैट विल कंफर्म द कॉज ऑफ डेथ.
The sharp rise in measles cases has officials worried. According to Mumbai civic body, the BMC, there are about 20,000 children who have not been vaccinated against measles. Lack of vaccination and malnutrition in children are being cited as the reasons for this spike. A central team of experts is now helping with containment measures, and civic officials have appealed to parents to get their children in the age group of 9 to 16 urgently vaccinated against the disease. Bureau Report, NDTV.
And political news from the United States now. Democrat Nancy Pelosi, the trailblazing first female Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, said that she will step down as party leader when Republicans take control of the chamber in January. I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress, is what the 82-year-old said, in fact, in an emotional speech on the House floor.
Right, she's been that leader for almost 2 decades now, and this is her departure as a party leader will mark the end of an era in Washington. Currently second in line of succession to President Joe Biden, Pelosi said last week that a decision on the future would be influenced by the brutal attack on her elderly husband in the run-up to the November 8th midterms.
I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress. For me, the hours come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect. And I'm grateful that so many are ready and willing to shoulder this awesome responsibility.
This as Republicans were projected to win a majority in the House of Representatives, setting the stage for 2 years of divided government as US President Joe Biden's Democratic Party held control of the Senate.
That's right. Parmeshwar, the victory gives Republicans the power to rein in Biden's agenda as well as to launch potentially political damaging probes of his administration and family, though it falls far short of the red wave the party had hoped for.
It wasn't the red wave many top Republicans predicted, but the party eked out enough wins in contested seats to gain control of the US House of Representatives. With a victory in California, Republicans captured 218 of the 435 House seats. The Republican takeover of the House means that Biden's agenda will encounter several roadblocks over the next 2 years,
as Republicans aim to put their own agenda into action. A Republican House is likely to clash on most issues with the Democratic Senate in 2023. They are expected to start their own investigations into Joe Biden and his son, as well as force showdowns over federal budget priorities.
You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
A Republican House is also likely to disband the panel investigating the riot at the Capitol when Trump's supporters ransacked the building in a failed effort to prevent Biden's electoral victory. Current Republican House leader Kevin McCarthy is the Republican Party's pick to take over from Nancy Pelosi as Speaker, but will still need to win a vote in the full chamber. However, with the Senate under Democratic control, Biden will continue to be able to have his cabinet and judicial appointments confirmed. The US president also congratulated his opponents. This as Republicans didn't necessarily run on a unified agenda of what they would bring to Washington. They want to fight inflation, they want to investigate the COVID-19 crisis, they want to improve the situation at the border, but how they will do that remains somewhat uncertain, so it seems their agenda is still being built and is in flux. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
And after Twitter and Meta, well, Amazon has started to lay off its employees, and reports suggest that about 10,000 of its employees will be laid off. So the biggest tech layoffs in the world, starting with Meta, 11,000 employees, Amazon, 10,000 employees to be laid off, Twitter, 3,700, which is about 50% of its employees, Microsoft, 1,000 employees, and Salesforce, about 1,000 employees as well, Parmeshwar.
Also, Divya, Indian startups are feeling the heat as well. If we look at the biggest tech layoffs in India, Byju's is topping the list with 2,500 employees looking to be laid off. Ola, meanwhile, 1,200 employees will be trimmed down. And Unacademy, 1,000 employees are expected to be laid off.
So when we talk about Amazon in particular, that started to lay off about 10,000 of its employees. The layoffs come amidst the adverse economic climate, the reduced spending by customers and the headwinds faced by advertisers.
Moreover, privacy-related moves by Apple have put a significant dampener on advertising revenues.
These are just a few messages pouring in as Amazon fires over 10,000 of its employees, cutting down 3% of its global workforce. Amazon joins Twitter, which fired over 3,700 employees from its workforce, Meta, which has let go of 11,000 employees so far, Microsoft's 1,000+ firings, and other Silicon Valley giants in mass layoffs. In a statement, Amazon said, given the current macroeconomic environment as well as several years of rapid hiring, some teams are making adjustments, which in some cases means certain roles are no longer necessary. We don't take these decisions lightly and we are working to support any employees who may be affected. While initial reports about the firings came 2 days ago, several employees are now questioning why CEO Andy Jassy hasn't addressed the employees or the company at large. Instead, employees were covertly called for HR meetings or sent voluntary buyout offers. Meanwhile, over at Twitter, continuing the initial layoffs of 50% of its workforce, Elon Musk issued yet another ultimatum to the employees. The CEO sent out an email in the middle of the night asking employees to commit to an extremely hardcore culture requiring long hours at high intensity. He further added that only exceptional performance would constitute a passing grade. Employees were then asked to click an icon and respond by Thursday if they wanted to stay, or else they would be offered 3 months of salary as compensation and would be immediately fired. The layoffs come amidst an adverse economic climate, reduced spending by customers and headwinds faced by advertisers. Moreover, privacy-related moves by Apple have put a significant damper on advertising revenues. Rubina Mungia, NDTV.
And in a new setback to Elon Musk's Twitter, hundreds of employees resigned on Thursday ahead of the deadline for the new owner's ultimatum to commit to a hardcore work environment, a report by CNBC has highlighted.
Now, salute emojis and farewell messages flooded the company's internal chat groups as employees, including engineers, announced their exit a day after Musk issued his ultimatum.
The The state government has suspended 2 doctors as a Chennai teen footballer died due to alleged medical negligence, and the police have booked a case of unnatural death.
Chennai Police Commissioner told NDTV that they had to wait in order to get the recommendations of the medical board to initiate a criminal prosecution.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin visited the family of footballer Priya at their humble 2-room rented tenement at Chennai's Vyasarpali to hand over a solatium of 10 lakh rupees, an appointment letter as data entry operator to her brother, and an allotment order for a weaker section housing. This after the 18-year-old died 2 days ago due to alleged medical negligence after a surgery for a ligament tear at a government hospital. Priya, who dreamt of playing for India, had suffered a ligament tear on her right leg on the 20th of October. On the 5th of November, the family consulted 2 government hospitals. On the 7th morning, Priya underwent surgery at the government periphery hospital in Periyar Nagar near her home outside Chennai. Doctors say the surgery went well, but a compression bandage put on after the surgery stopped blood flow to her leg, causing irreparable damage. The next morning, she was shifted to the government Rajiv Gandhi General Hospital. 5 days later, on the 13th, the hospital amputated her right leg in a bid to save her life. But the infection had spread and she died of multiple organ failure on the 15th.
Surgery was perfect. He has done a ligament tear through arthroscopy procedure. Never when you apply some tonic or something like that. So it has to be removed following the surgery. So there was a delay in removing it, which resulted in all this.
The family, still trying to cope with the tragic developments, did not want to comment on camera. But Priya's coach, Joel Joshua, who trained her for 7 years, says it's an unacceptable way for Priya to go.
Best player losing in India. So now he's a 17 years old, sir. He's going to university. After going to the university finish up, he's going to nationals. He's going to national. It's opportunity for India's. Sub-junior India's, he's playing that.
The Tamil Nadu government has suspended 2 doctors for alleged medical negligence, and the police have filed a case of unnatural death. The Chennai Police Commissioner told NDTV they have to await recommendations of the medical board to initiate criminal prosecution. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.